Swadika, welcome to be my guest. I'm Cholapansa Narula. To ensure every child can have a good life on equal terms, Sansari has partnered with UNICEF in another project, A Brighter Future for Children, reaffirming its commitment to further improve the livelihood of children in Thailand and around the world. Joining us today to give us more information on the project is Kun Sirintra Mongkon Nawin, Deputy Executive Vice President, Corporate Planning and Sustainable Development of Sansari Public Company Limited.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Kun Sirintra, thank you very much for joining us. Sansari has partnered with UNICEF for 7 years now under the Social Change Direction. Tell us a bit about this campaign or about the CSR activity. What does it focus on?
Yes, at Sansari, we believe that we could do more than just CSR because it is not their social responsibility. Actually, it is our duty to give back to the society by making the positive change. That's why we call Sansari social change. And our focus is to protect children's rights, and our campaigns aim at help, support, and develop the well-being of children in a very inclusive and in sustainable way. And in order to do that, we have to truly understand the problem all across the board to find the right solution for each problem.
Over the past 7 years, there have been numerous campaigns that you have done, partnered with UNICEF. What kind of social problems that you see that has still been persisting here in Thailand?
And there are still a group of children with, who do not have the opportunity to get access to the basic rights, to live their basic needs. They still have problem with health. They still have malnutrition problem, have no access to vaccine, have no access to education. That's all kind of problems that they are facing.
So how are you working with UNICEF to transform the lives of these children, to give them better opportunities, better quality of life?
Sharing the same vision to protect the children's right. That's why Sansari has been partnering with UNICEF since the year 2011. And then we initiate the policy of being the child-friendly organization with 4 pillars to work on, starting with ourselves first, with initiative within our company, all good place that we encourage our staff to breastfeeding for the first 6 months, and we provide a breastfeeding room at all 3 offices. And then we extend this help to business partner with through the project of Good Space to provide a child-friendly space or the safe place for children who live on the construction camp to have their space for development, for just eating and playing and all the things.
These are the kids of the construction workers. Well, mostly probably migrant workers. So you provide these friendly spaces for these kids?
For this kid, yes. And we also provide teachers to provide lesson for them in terms of academic, like learn about Thai languages and also the life skill as well. And after that, yes, we need to make the impact to the social at large by creating the good community. And then the 4th pillar is to extend the help to an international level to become the good global citizen.
Now, let me get back to the Good Space activity or the inspiration that has been created, because you've mentioned that with continuing the company's vision in making child-friendly spaces at construction sites, this has actually been done at your projects across the country. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
and
correct.
How many children have you actually helped from this initiative?
Yes, on average, about 700.
700 kids?
700 per year. And of this, we extend the Good Space to be more than just a place to live, to study. And then we take 200 of them to get the vaccination according to their age. And also in some specific area, for example, in Chiang Mai province, we managed to get 50 children to get on the school system.
So a lot has been done. So your company has a vision that children are everybody's business.
Right.
So you have been conveying this message amongst the staff and actually trying to urge the private sector, other companies to follow the footsteps. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Because based on the statistic that we've got so far, about 60,000 children live in Thailand. Most of them are migrant kids who live with their parents in all across other industry. And with us, only 700. So it means that there are a lot of children out there. So we would like to encourage other either developers, other industry entrepreneur to do the same, to provide a child-friendly space, to save the safe place for them just to live, to learn, and to play.
One of the ways they can help, of course, is through funding. And Sensory, the company, has been providing donations through UNICEF's emergency fund as well. So is this one of the ways you get through to help children not only in Thailand but across the world?
Yes, because we believe that reaching help should be boundary, should not limited to boundary. That's why we donate $1 million every year to the emergency fund to let UNICEF to help children in wherever the world to with the need to get that.
For 7 years, how much have you donated so far?
So far is $7 million.
$7 million.
So approximately nearly 250 million baht.
I see. Now back in Thailand, recently you launched a project called Ban San Thamada. This is a project which urges people to play their part, to raise money online. Is that correct? Give us some information, please.
Yes, Ban San Thamada is our initiative from Sensory for UNICEF because we want to raise awareness to the public that there are a lot of problems of Thai children. Just because we don't hear anything about problems of Thai children doesn't mean that our children are all doing well. So we want to raise awareness through the campaign Ban San Thamada, which is the kind of gimmick that among the ordinary house filled with ordinary things like water, food, shelter. Actually, these ordinary things is considered very special things for a group of children who doesn't have any access to the basic needs to live their normal life like us. So that's why we want to create awareness to the public to get them know that we are still facing with some problems of the Thai children and let them make some donation, which is a very easy way to help be part of the solving the Thailand problems.
So what can we do? How do we donate?
As an individual, please make donation by just we use the QR code for e-donation. Very, very easy. Please do that if you could. And also please share, please use your social media or social network to help us raise awareness of this issue.
So the QR code can be scanned. Is it through your website?
Yes.
Sensory.
Please, yes.
Sensory.com, is it correct?
Sensory.com/Ban San Thamada.
So it's very simple, just
Very
100
simple.
baht. You can basically change the lives for the underprivileged children by giving them the basic necessities, by giving them proper health care, and perhaps some education as well. Thank you very much, Kun Surintra, for joining us today.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome back to the program. Joining us now is the Managing Director of the Cloud and Ground, Kun Chang Noi Kun Chon. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
You've been one of the voices of Iodine Please campaign,
Yes.
which has become a successful campaign here in Thailand. So tell us a bit about how were you involved in the program from day one?
About maybe 8 years ago, we work about Iodine Please project. I just know in that time, iodine in salt of Thailand, not every salt of Thailand has iodine. So we have not many time because we will push this issue to the legal in that government period of Thailand. You know, in Thailand that time the government period is not so long. like 8 years ago. So we worked at about 2 months, and after 2 months, we launched the project to register the people who want the iodine every salt. So about just 9 months, we can register over 50,000
50,000
people,
names.
Yeah, to tell the government that it should be the legal. So it's done.
So in that year, it became a law.
Yeah.
Wow. So that was a very successful campaign.
Yeah.
Now, before the campaign started, let me ask you this question. Did you realize the severity of the situation of iodine deficiency disorder? We know that it's a problem in Thailand and it's a global issue as well. When you were involved in the program, what was the situation like back then?
Yes, in Thailand, in the people in the north of Thailand, like Lampang, like Chiang Rai, they couldn't know what salt they can eat because some salt is not have iodine, right? It's hard to communicate the all of people because in the south of Thailand, in the middle of Thailand, not have that problem. But in the north of Thailand, they didn't know what salt they should eat.
Consume.
Yeah, consume, right? But we proudly to present this project is in the legally is very good because they trust that where every salt in Thailand you could consume because that has a iodine.
So-
every salt, right?
So the law now requires that every manufacturer,
Yes.
every producer that makes salt should add iodine.
Yeah.
And follow,
Must, right? It's
Must.
not should, right?
must
Must,
add, exactly, must
Yeah.
add iodine. But before we get to this part, the situation the kids were facing, without iodine, it creates a lot of health impacts. I'd like you to highlight some of the disorders that we see in children of not receiving enough iodine.
In the children, if you consume not enough, you are the goiter in the children or maybe in adult.
Goiter's disease.
Yes, but if you are a mother, it's pass to your baby like retarded.
So you mean
Disease.
pregnant women
Yeah, yeah.
not receiving enough iodine
Yes.
or iodine?
Yes, and affect about the IQ of Thai kids, about the lower IQ in Thai kids. So normally it's about the northern of Thailand. They can't consume iodine because they're far from sea, right? Iodine from sea, right? So many of northern of Thailand
The kids are
affect
affected.
about that problem.
So there's a link between the physical and cognitive development of a child.
Yes.
So thankfully it became a law and
Yes.
we see the problems being reduced.
Yes.
Now apart from this campaign, you're also involved in another project called the Best Start.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about this Best Start project, which focuses on early childhood development. Is
Yeah,
that
I
right?
like this project very much because I have children in that time. The early child is very important. Like father and mother is good toy to the kids because in the urban guy today we work and we leave the children with the grandmother and grandfather, but time from father and mother is very important. So you should take time to this part.
So you invest your time with your children
Yes.
instead of like buying them toys.
Yeah. But they have a six factor. They start in 6 factor and in 6 year early child in that project. It's very good. Like the other factor is milk from mother. Like every in urban life we buy the milk from supermarket and take to the baby. Should do that. In 6 months you should
You promote mother's milk.
yeah, only 6 months. Yeah.
So that's one of the main factors.
Yeah, it's good for immunity of baby. Yeah,
And giving them education, starting
Yeah.
at a very early age.
Yes.
The first 6 years are the golden years.
yes,
That's what the program says.
yes. I saw about knowledge that one thing is very good. That they tell about if you say that thing is very important, you will reduce about government's
Spending
about 7
times.
times. Yes.
Which means that if they're raised well in the first 6 years in
Yeah.
terms of health, nutrition, education,
Yeah.
they grow up to be an able adult
Yeah.
and
Good
is
adult.
a good adult.
And the
Competent.
government save about 7 times
7
in
times.
the future.
Comparing to those kids who have not been, invested with education and time in the first 6 years of their life.
Yes.
So it's a great campaign, pretty successful, and just to help see this effort continued in the future, how do you urge people to be part, to promote children's basic rights, give them proper education, proper health care, giving them a brighter future?
It's we do about the communication, and today is separate to too many programs in the sensory project and UNICEF project. Every project is involved about kids. It's very good. I think it's very best start of that time, and today is the result of that project.
So we hope to see these efforts continued into the future. Thank you very much, Kun Chang Noi, for joining us today.
Thank you.
สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome back to the program. Another organization that's been deeply connected with children is the Mercy Center to give children a better life. And joining us now is Chairman of Mercy Center, Father Joseph Meyer. สวัสดีค่ะ Father, thank you very much for joining us. To begin, tell us a bit about Mercy Center and how is the center been working with children and communities to better their lives?
We began, first of all, Sawadee Kap. We began a long time ago with the Catholics who were killing the pigs because fervent and pious Buddhists and Muslims don't do these things. And the Catholics did at that time. And the children were not going to school. Children were not going to school. They said, and everybody said, these children are stupid, they don't need to go. So we joined with the abbot in the temple nearby, and we joined with the imam down the street. And so we, the 3 religious people, began teaching all of the children we could in the slums. Every child could go to school.
So
Every
that's how
child
it all
can go to
started.
school. All the, 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old. Go to school, go to school, go to school. And if you're Buddhist, good. If you're Muslim, good. If you're Catholic, good. And so we prayed in actually they had a lamat for the Muslims, and the Buddhists prayed, Namo, and then the Catholics prayed Hail Mary. So it was great, and it still is after 50 years.
So from then on, you have provided education for the poor kids. It has been your dream. How is the situation today, 50 years from when it first started?
We still, when you use, first of all, the classroom, whatever it is, belongs to the children. So when we go into the classroom, you have to ask permission because the children own the classroom. It's their classroom. And you take off your shoes because it's a sacred place. It's part of the temple. It's part of the church. It's part of the mosque. It's a sacred place. And then you ask the teachers, well, what did the children teach you today? What did the children teach you, the teacher, today? Instead of this, oh, I am big and important. And so the children decide. I mean, yes, you teach them. And like one little boy said recently, I am so happy. I can write my own name. And my Grammy is so happy. She doesn't know how to read it, but I tell her it's okay.
So they're very proud.
Yeah, and we still teach. We've taught 50,000 children.
50,000 children over the years.
Really, that's not a, yeah, but really.
So how many schools are you operating today?
Right now we have 24 slum kindergartens in 24 slums, different parts of slums, and one for the Sea Gypsies down south, now near Ranong.
So basically both in Bangkok and also in other provinces.
And just this one in Ranong, yeah.
So how do you see the situation today? We know that a lot of children do not receive what they need, the basic rights, proper healthcare, and even education. But then again, we see collaborative efforts from the public sector, the private sector, and foundations like the Mercy Center coming together. Has it improved? What does that mean, Father?
I mean, it always improves, but it always, how do we say this? Go to school, go to school, go to school.
So there's a challenge.
Yes, you tell every child you meet, go to school. Why aren't you in school? I want to talk to your grandmother. Well, my grandmother says we don't have enough to eat. I'll give you enough to eat. You go to school.
So you mean it's a support from the families? Is that a problem?
Well, of course. Most of the children live with grandmother, and most of the grandmothers don't read and write very well, if at all. So you tell the children, well, you have to help Granny so that she can read and write, and so that when she goes to the government, she can sign her name. She doesn't have to do that. So is it getting better? Well, of course it has to get better. But
a lot of work needs to be done.
Well, you do the best you can. And someone a long time ago gave me a chance to go to school, and is with you and everybody else. So give the children a chance to go to school. And some of them do, and some of them don't. And some of them, like I go to the prisons, they say, oh wow, here's a lot of friends in prison, but there's also a lot of friends here and there and there. You respect and love the children, because it's their school.
Today we are in a press event of A Brighter Future for Children, organized by Sansari, and the Mercy Center is part of this program. Can you tell us how you're working together with the private sector to bring more opportunities or new opportunities to kids?
Yeah, well, you have to. The government helps about, of the money we spend, well, the government helps about 1/3. The Tesaban, what is that in English? The municipality.
The office?
And we collect about another 1/3 from the people themselves, 5 baht, 10 baht a day. And then 1/3 we beg for it, and we ask people to make merit. And they do, more or less. And they help the temple. And for example, the schools in the temple, we have schools near the temple. So the monks come and bless the temple, bless the school every year. Then I bless the school every year. Then the imam comes. So it's for everybody.
So
is it getting better? Sure.
But to make it sustainable, to see this wave of change, social change continuing, how would you suggest the private sector and the government and communities play their part?
Oh boy. It's, what you asked is a very, very serious question. Mommy and daddy and grandmother want the schools to continue, so they will. So they will. We've never had anybody break into the schools. We've never had any teachers used or abused. We have 160 teachers. It's the Thai people throughout their history have done everything for education. You realize how much, 50 years ago, it was 1 baht a day to go to school. That's a lot of money. And they did everything. They did everything to send their children to school, and they still do. The children, the Thai people, they want their children to go to school.
And children, the future generation, education is of course a great foundation.
Yeah.
So thank you, Father, for doing your part in helping these kids. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. สวัสดีค่ะ Children are the foundation of the future. They must be given the basic rights, proper health care and education. Collaborative efforts that we see today is one way to support children and youth in a sustainable manner. And that's all the time we have for today's edition of Be My Guest. I'm Cholapansa Narula. Thank you very much for joining us. See you next time. สวัสดีค่ะ